I have said before, Logitech is the top name that popped into my mind when it comes to computer peripherals. Looks like they have done it again with electronic peripherals. This is Logitech Harmony 650. The inexpensive model of the Harmony family disc, but it does not look cheap. Look at it. Beautifully curved like all the worldly device. Silver casing finish makes it resemble a UFO. It even glow in the dark. In combination, the Harmony 650 looks great. Something out of this era. I may be putting too much emphasis on this, but it makes you feel good to have one. People are pretty lucky these days. Back then, you don't have all the technology to help you out. Although you have technologies. Like in the typical home, you will have a bunch of remote controls for different devices. Say you have one for your typical television, you have another one for your DVD player, and perhaps you have one more for your other television, and maybe one more for your receivers and other things. But sometimes you don't even have any remote control. You bought something used, don't have a remote, what do? You get one of those. Universal remote. But it comes with a bunch of codes that you don't understand, or it just simply doesn't work with a newer device if not supported. Much like the case with my TV and my receiver, it doesn't even work with receiver, so get rid of those. Get one of those. At first I wasn't sure about this from the pictures on the website, because it looks like a big thing. It looks chunky and all. But then after I bought it, I actually hold it in my hand. It's actually very comfortable because it's actually very thin on the top. And it gives you a really good grip, as you can see here. Now that is actually very comfortable, although it is kind of long. You can easily hold it in your hand, you can push the buttons easily. Now you can easily reach all the buttons that you need to reach. It's very good. On the top you can set up those function keys. What it is you can set up a combination of various devices that if you push one button and then aiming at all those devices, then it will turn every single one of those on and the correct settings that you set it to. Those are really convenient buttons. Or if you don't want to, that's not a problem. You can just go through all your devices and choose one and then control it. Like that's my receiver, that's power toggle and all that, next input and things like that. You can go back to the next device, like my television for example, and then you can turn it on manually. Or you can go back up if you set up any activities, they call it, or favorite, they call it activities. If you had it set up, you can just simply press whatever it may be and you're good to go. It's real simple. So the device, you connect to a USB cable. It's very universal. It's the same thing as your cell phone. It's one of those mini USBs. You plug it in, you plug it to your computer, you run the Logitech program, the Harmony program, then you can basically input the model of your devices that you want to use and you will load out all the settings. Although sometimes it could be too much settings. For example, I have my Pioneer receiver here. It had way too many settings. Some of the stuff like channel select or digital analog or those, I don't even know what that is. I think that's for the backlight of the screen or something like that. Anyway, point is, sometimes you have way too many settings and some of them doesn't even work, which is fine. You can take this out from the software, which I will show you in a minute. But then, yeah, everything's preset, it'll work. And you can customize whatever button you want or don't want in it. And also, the buttons that's on the remote control itself, you can also customize any button that's not being used to whatever it is that you want it to be. I have an RCA television. This is actually pretty generic. It's nothing fancy. It's called 4275A, which I can find no information on the internet because the only thing I can find is 4275A-B. Anyway, point is, I bought 3 of those, different ones from different places, hoping then that it will work with this television. I even eventually got an RCA one. Doesn't work. Doesn't matter what code you're punching, it just doesn't work. Piss you off. Of course, you can take a $3 chance. It's not a lot to lose. Or you could just not spend. It just doesn't work. The Harmony will work excellently. But wait a minute. That's not actually entirely true. It will work, but it doesn't have all the models that's in there. But the Harmony will work good. However, not in this case with my television. Even though it has a wide library of different devices on the Harmony side, there's still got a lot of them that's just missing out. So, it didn't work with this television. Why? It doesn't have the A model. I only find it on the A-B model. So I thought, okay, it'll probably work. It's the same family, right? No, they said. It doesn't work. Why? Because you use different components. That's why the -B makes sense, sure. So what else can you do? I actually open out this television and I take out the part for the sensor. For the longest time, I thought the sensor probably broken. This television doesn't even have a stand. It was dropped before. Anyway, and what I found out is there's another television, much smaller, an older model of RCA television that uses the same part. I went onto the Harmony site to find that. Guess what? I found that TV. Put that in, works. Sometimes you just have to do a little bit of research on these sort of things to get this sort of thing work, since it's not original and all, you know. But it works perfectly with that one. This television doesn't have a lot of functions, but all the functions this television have to offer works. So I'm glad this worked out. Everything in my house entertainment area, it works. That TV works. That TV works. Sony old TV, there it is. That works, that turns on. That DVD player there works as well. My receiver obviously works. That's what I use most of the time. I have another receiver that's older too that also works with this thing. So the support goes from all the new stuff to all the old stuff as well. Of course, I can't speak for every single device that's in it, that is. But I'm impressed. So the Harmony comes with this neat looking Logitech USB cord. This is designed for you to easily plug and pull the USB cable. And what you do with the Harmony, you plug it in. Oh yeah. Simply plug it in and your computer will detect. You will have to go to the Harmony website to get the drivers though. But once you have the software installed, you're ready to go. As you can see on the screen, USB is connected. When you first use the Harmony software, it will ask you to register for the website, I suppose, for an account. Once you have an account, you can set up your remote control. Now you can see here, I have my Harmony 650 already set up with 7 devices installed. The software is actually pretty simple, and it can be pretty detailed too. You can use it for both ways. If you just want a simple setup, you can do that. If you want more advanced setup, you can go through the advanced setup. But basically what you do is you go to the devices, you can add a device. So what you do here is you simply type in the manufacturer of your device. I'll take my television as an example again. RCA, and you'll see they have RCA there. And then type in my model number, which is the 4275A. Well, actually RLED 4275A. If you're typing exactly, if you have it, you would just add without any trouble at all. But if it doesn't have it, it will give you whatever that's similar to pick from. You can pick one of those and say that's what it is, or you can re-enter it if you know you type it wrong. Otherwise, if you're sure that would be the controller, you can pick that one as well. And then you give it more information about what is this for, some other information. If you have a built-in DVD, if you have built-in VCR, things like that, you'll help it determine if it's the right device. And if you have the original remote, you can say, yes, I have the original remote. And what you can do is to sync the original remote with the Harmony, which you can supposedly put all the settings over, but I don't have that remote, so I can actually never test out this aspect of it. I wish I know more about it, but I'm assuming that's what it is. But that's an excellent feature. And you click on next and everything is good. You finish up and that's that. And you will see a device right here. This list of your devices. Now, what you can do with them, you can change their settings. For example, I want to change settings for my DVD and VCR. Power settings, device delay settings, device command repeats. There's a bunch of options you can do to change the settings. Of course, you can go to the buttons, and then you can set up buttons for specific device. For example, if I want to set up my receiver, options that I can see on the little screen. I can come in here, I can move things around, I can move the orders around, I can take some of the options out. For example, return, I'll probably never need that. I can delete that, which will give you a shorter list. And this stuff is helpful because not all the options that's preset onto the device will actually work, or sometimes it's not necessary. Like you can just scroll through the input devices instead of picking a specific one and taking out too many pages to go through them. Things like that. So you can customize whatever way you want with this. And of course, you can also customize the actual buttons that's on the remote. You can go through all the keys. All the blue ones are the ones that's in use. No, I was wrong. All the blue ones are the ones that's not in use. You can set it to a specific function, just drag it over, then it will become that function. Everything else is preset to a specific thing, like numbers or whatever, but you can customize all of that to your liking. And I think that's very excellent. You can set favorites, you can set a favorite channel. I never use it. What else you can do? Activities. Activities is great. That's what I talked about earlier, that you can set one of those keys that's on the top, one of those keys, to function with specific set of devices. Say I want to set up watch TV. I go on next. I can select what devices that I want to use for this one button function. Say I want a Sony TV. No, I want an RCA TV and my Pioneer receiver to be turned on. In this activity, I pick the two. And which device do you use to control volume on your watch TV device? Well, that will be the receiver. Selected, and we go on next. What input it goes on, so you can set out default input. So you can set out your most common use situations even with the settings. So you can pick, like here I can pick TV or HDMI channels, which in this case will be HDMI 2. Okay, so that's on that. And the last step for this software, click on sync. And you will sync all the settings onto your remote. And once it's ready, you're good to go. You can leave in a survey if you want to. Tell them they did an excellent job. If you feel like to be nice, that is. So there's some more of this software that you can explore and find out. There's some other functions I actually haven't touched yet. But there's just so much more in this remote. Come to think of it, this is not even the top model. I wonder what the $250 remote will be actually like. But that's not important. This one served my purpose and I'm happy. Okay, so that's done. Let's finish this. Turn that off. Okay, so now I have the TV and the receiver off, so let's try out this activity. So what we can do, as you see, I have the activity set up, and we press the activity watch TV function. That's what I set up. It turns both of the device on by itself. And let's see if it goes to the right channel on the television. It does. It's on the right channel. It goes to, as you can see on the left, if we can see, HDMI 2, that would be the channel to my computer, and the receiver. It's on the correct channel as well. I already have it on the DVD channel, but it goes there. It doesn't go anywhere else. So this is excellent. Very, very convenient. The package do come with the battery too. Usually battery is not included for all the toys, but this is no toy. The 650 uses 2 AA battery, and it comes with 2, the dual cells too. I read online it will last maybe 3 months, but we don't know. We'll find out. If there's any news on that, I guess I'll let you guys know, but as for now, it's perfect. There are other models that supports battery charging, like the 700, but it really depends on what you need and the price. It will even work with, and I'm not making this up, your electric fan. Ah, that's turning on, right? You see that? You work with your electric fan. Well, considering it has an IR device in it or something. This fan doesn't even come with a remote when I bought it. There are some problems. For example, even though it's nice to hold, it is only 2 little feet that's at the very tip, and the back there was nothing. You're literally standing on this bulge of round thing in the back with a battery in it, and that could pose a problem. I mean, normally if you have a long enough table, that's fine. You'll just sit there, there's no problem. But if you have it at the edge, you'll just slap right off. Or if you have a table that's not so long, if you happen to need it to sit just a little bit off the edge or something, I'd say you have a lot of stuff on your table, can't do that because there's no solid ground to stand. Thing wobbles on the table when you lay it down. But there's other issues too. Well, sort of a minor issue, but still an issue. To go through all your devices, it's kind of a pain. You go left and right, yeah, you choose a button. This is easy and all, but you always have to go back out, and then you always have to go into another devices. I wish they can just set the activity buttons to be individual sets of things. If you could find yourself one of those at reasonable price, I would recommend you to pick one up. Normally, I've seen the price to be somewhere between $80 to $100 Canadian, and I got mine at the Best Buy here at Black Friday for $50. So you know the deal is around there. And they will have more deals as the Boxing Day is coming out and New Year's coming out and all. If you find yourself one of those for $50, and say if you have controllers missing from your other devices, or you like to have everything just one on your table instead of a bunch of them, this will be a very, very good buy if you can find one around that price. But of course, the bottom line is, one of those will run you $80, $90 if no special, or even a better one than that will cost you $150, $250 maybe. Where on the old controller, that comes with a thing, doesn't cost a thing. A universal one costs $10 at Walmart. Or if you're cheap enough, you go to Dollarama to get one for $3. That's the difference here. That's why not too many people have one of those yet, because of the price. I only have it because it's $50. So that's something for you to think about. If those kind of devices can lower their price a little bit, much like their promotional price, well, a lot more people will have it and benefit from this sort of technology. All those stuff can go now. Go to the storage and just have that. Even at this price range, Logitech managed to put quality on its tech. What's more, it surely makes your lazy life just that much lazier, but in a good way, because it helps you reduce your frustration over the control of your devices. And for me, that is a good thing. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like and subscribe my video. Thank you very much. Until next time, take care.